What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin Breeze here, and in this video we're going to be comparing the LG Stylo 4 to the LG K30. So without further ado, let's get started. So what I think is most interesting about this comparison is that the LG K30 has been on T-Mobile for a while, and the LG Stylo 4 is soon going to be on T-Mobile. So when customers go into T-Mobile stores, they're going to see both of these phones on the shelf, and they're going to have to choose which one is best for them. Now, of course, the LG K30 is also available unlocked on Amazon and other places, and the LG Stylo 4 is available on other carriers such as Metro PCS and Cricket. Now, this version of the Stylo 4 is the Metro PCS version, and you'll want to keep in mind that for the different carrier variants of the Stylo 4, there are some different specification changes, such as an extra gig of RAM for the Cricket version of the Stylo 4. So I know it's really confusing, but I just wanted to point out that this is the T-Mobile version of the LG K30, and this is the Metro PCS version of the Stylo 4. Now, when the Stylo 4 comes out for T-Mobile, we don't know yet what the pricing is going to be, but right now on Metro PCS, you can get the LG Stylo 4 for $179, and you can get the LG Stylo 4 on Cricket for $229. So I'm guessing that the LG Stylo 4 on T-Mobile will be priced somewhere in between those two price points. Now, on the other hand, the LG K30 on T-Mobile is available for $225. So even the most expensive version of the LG Stylo 4 is still right around the price of the LG K30. And I don't want to give too much away before we dive into this, but there is literally no reason to get the LG K30 over the Stylo 4, and I'll be showing you why this is such a better choice than the K30. Let's first go over the differences in display. So on the LG Stylo 4, you get a 1080p display here, coming in at 6.2 inches. Now on the LG K30, you get a smaller display at 5.3 inches, and it's lower resolution at 720p. So right off the bat, you're getting a higher quality display resolution with the LG Stylo 4. And what's interesting is that even though the display is larger on the Stylo 4, the pixel density is still higher. Now, both of these devices feature 2 GB of RAM. But on the LG Stylo 4, you get a Snapdragon 450 processor, but on the LG K30, you get a Snapdragon 425 processor. So you get a slightly better processor on the LG Stylo 4. You also get a larger battery on the LG Stylo 4, coming in at 3,300 mAh. The battery on the LG K30 is smaller at 2,880 mAh. Now you want to keep in mind that you are going to actually get similar amounts of battery life out of the two of these because you have to remember that there are more pixels that have to be powered on the LG Stylo 4 and it's a larger display. So you do get a smaller battery on the LG K30, but it's a smaller display and the 1080p screen resolution is not nearly as demanding on the battery. Now, looking at the actual size of these two devices side by side, you can see that there's a lot more bezel on the LG K30. Now, even though the display on the LG Stylo 4 is a lot larger than the LG K30, you can see that the actual body of the phone isn't too much larger because it has a lot less bezel. Like, for example, on the bottom here, you can see that the lip down below is a lot larger on the LG K30. Same goes for the top. Now, speaking of that, both devices have a front-facing camera and the earpiece on the top. And then on the bottom, they both have the same on-screen Android buttons. Taking a look at the left side of both devices, they both have volume rockers. But on the LG Stylo 4 on the left side, we have the SIM card and microSD card access slot. And there's nothing else on the LG K30. Taking a look at the right side, on the LG Stylo 4, we have the power button and nothing else. And on the right side of the LG K30, we have the SIM card and the microSD card slot. On the top of these two devices, we really just have the noise-canceling microphone. And then, looking at the bottom, on the LG Stylo 4, we have the stylus, we have the speaker slot, we have the USB Type-C port, we have the microphone, and we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. Whereas on the LG K30, we have the noise-canceling microphone, a micro USB port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. So you can already see that on the Stylo 4, which is of course the phone to the left, you get a lot of extra features. You get that stylus, which isn't even available on the LG K30, and you get a dedicated speaker on the bottom, and you get USB Type-C. And the USB Type-C port might seem like a gimmick to some people, but it really is the future, and that's the way that ports are kind of going on most high-end phones. So it's interesting that this feature that's normally found in a high-end phone is now found in the LG Stylo 4, considering it's also a budget phone, just like the LG K30. Now, taking a look at the backside of these two devices, first thing that I want to mention is that both are fingerprint magnets, except the LG Stylo 4 is glossy on the back and the LG K30 is a matte finish. But both of these devices are going to give you smudges and smears, so you'll just have to get used to that, I guess. Now, taking a look at the top here, both devices have a 13 megapixel camera, they both have a flash, and they both have a fingerprint sensor. And from what I've noticed from my personal experience, both of these fingerprint sensors are just as good. In fact, since these are both LG phones, they might be the same exact fingerprint sensor. Now, on the backside of the LG K30, you do get a little speaker here, and then we have the LG logo on both devices. Now, another thing that I want to point out is that on the LG Stylo 4, you can unlock the phone using either the fingerprint sensor on the back or the dedicated power button on the side. Whereas on the LG K30, there is no power button, but the fingerprint sensor on the back doubles as the power button. So I don't necessarily think that's a drawback or anything, but if for some reason you don't like the idea of having to use this button on the back to unlock your phone, no matter what, then maybe this isn't the phone for you. So taking a closer look at the display, of course it's kind of hard to tell through the camera lens here, but they're both good looking. I mean, they're both good looking displays. Even though the LG K30 has a lower quality display technically, I think they both look great, and I could definitely use both of these phones based on just their display alone, because they both do the job well. Now, something interesting is that on the Stylo 4, all of the corners on the display are rounded, whereas they're squared off like a more traditional phone on the LG K30. So keep that in mind if that's something that bothers you. Now, the LG Stylo 4 comes with Android 8.0 out of the box, which is the current version that's installed. Well, actually 8.1. But on the LG K30, the current version of Android that's on this device is 7.1. So you'll have to decide if that's a big deal to you. Now, I'd imagine that there's an update to 8.0 coming out eventually for the LG K30, but you're not going to get the latest version of Android, at least out of the box from the beginning. Let's now do a speed test. So I'm going to try starting up Temple Run on both of these devices, and we'll see which one loads it first. And I've cleared out all of my running apps, so there's nothing else running in the background. So we'll start this off and see what happens. 1, 2, 3. So it does look like the LG K30 was first to load Temple Run, which was interesting. But this might give you a good idea, though, of how much more screen real estate you're getting with the LG Stylo 4 versus the LG K30, because it's just so much larger over there. Let's now open up the camera app. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like the LG K30 was the first to show content on the camera app, although it was very close, so it's not like it was dramatically quicker on the LG K30, but it does seem like it was just a little bit faster. Let's try starting Google Chrome. 1, 2, 3. Now, it looks like in this situation, the Stylo 4 was a little bit quicker at pulling up Chrome. Let's now try pulling up a website. And I also want to mention these two phones are connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Now let's go to TechCrunch. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it looks like the LG Stylo 4 was first to pull up TechCrunch, but really it was quick on both of these devices. You can see that both are really quick to scroll as well. Now this might give you an idea of the advantages to having the larger display on the Stylo 4, because you can see how much more content is displayed on the screen. Whereas on the LG K30, there's a lot less here that you can see. So when you're reading articles and things, you'll have to do a little bit more scrolling on the LG K30. So this concludes my comparison of the LG Stylo 4 versus the LG K30. It's interesting because these are both from the same company, and they're both similarly priced. However, I think you're getting a lot more for your money with the LG Stylo 4. That's just my personal opinion. But the good thing is that these are both solid devices, and you're really not going to go wrong with either one. It's just that there's a lot more value with the LG Stylo 4, but really, I think these are both great, and if you choose to get the LG K30 for some reason, you're going to be happy with it. And who knows, maybe when you go to the T-Mobile store or anywhere else, or maybe you just want to buy one of these unlocked, but when you go to buy these, maybe one of them will have more of a discount than the other, and that might be the reason why you choose one over the other. But as far as a device-to-device comparison goes, I think the LG Stylo 4 is a lot better. But again, if there are certain incentives that make the LG K30 more appealing, then you might just want to go with that. So I hope this video was helpful. If it is, then give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.